Hey, e-commerce Fastlane listeners, the holiday season is just around the corner and now is the perfect time to level up your inventory planning. Now you can join our 7-day inventory planning bootcamp and learn how to keep your stock optimized, your costs down, and your profits soaring, all just in 1 week. Now, each day you'll receive a quick, actionable email packed with expert tips and strategies to help you avoid stockouts, reduce excess inventory, and drive more sales. Now, it's designed to be simple and efficient. Now, each lesson takes less time than it is to finish your morning coffee. Now, during the bootcamp, you're going to gain valuable insights on assessing and analyzing your inventory performance, intelligent demand forecasting, strategies to reduce your excess stock, ordering inventory on a budget, evaluating technology solutions to inventory planning and management, and implementing a continuous improvement mindset. Now, are you ready to ensure that your store is stocked and prepared for the holidays? This bootcamp will equip you with the essential skills to set appropriate stock levels, to improve demand forecasting, and optimize your inventory management practices. You'll learn how to prevent cash from being tied up in excess stock while avoiding costly stockouts that can frustrate customers and impact your bottom line. Now, don't let the holiday rush catch you off guard. Take control of your inventory and set yourself up for success for a smooth and more profitable season. Now, this bootcamp is perfect for e-commerce entrepreneurs, especially those that are powered by Shopify who want to maximize their holiday sales potential while minimizing their inventory-related headaches. Now, you can sign up now at ecommercefastlane.com/inventory-planning, and you can start your journey to smarter inventory management today. Now, don't miss this opportunity to transform your inventory planning before the holiday rush.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder, and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Welcome back to another episode of E-commerce Fastlane. I'm your host, Steve Hutt, and today I'm thrilled to introduce Walt Feldberg, who is the Senior Partnerships Lead at Printful. Now, Walt has been instrumental in Printful's kind of global expansion. He really is leading the strategic partnerships team over at Printful, and he's built a lot of relationships with Shopify and 20 other platforms. He has a lot of expertise in kind of business development and partnerships, and he's really helped solidify Printful's kind of position as a leader in the print-on-demand industry. Quite interesting, actually, before recording today, I went to the Shopify App Store, and there is nearly, probably during this recording, even more, but there's over 7,000 positive feedback, which is pretty epic for a Shopify app to have that many 5-star reviews. So it's pretty epic kind of what they've been building over there. For those that don't know who Printful is, they are like an on-demand kind of printing and fulfillment company. They really help brands, both entrepreneurs and creatives, really to bring a lot of their ideas to life. I believe they started back in 2013. Probably going to learn more with Walt's kind of chat here, but they've really grown exponentially. I think now they have close to 400,000 active customers, and they fulfill over 1 million products like every single month, like 1 million products every month. So they really are the real deal. I'm hoping in today's episode, we're going to explore more about the print-on-demand industry. I want to discuss some of the strategies around, like, how do you build successful business around print-on-demand, which is a great opportunity. You don't have to stock anything. You really just have to have your own creative ideas about what you want to sell and build a brand around that, and you let Printful take care of all of the rest. It's quite interesting. I really want to dig deep into the journey of the business. I want to talk about how do they become this global player and the major player in the space. So it's really going to be an exciting episode. I also want to think about the fact that it's not just necessarily about having just a print-on-demand business as the sole business. That is an opportunity. I know a lot of YouTubers and creators, they actually get out there and they have a dedicated store that is fully powered by Printful. But then on the other side of the coin, there are some businesses that are already established, but they want to kind of add on some extra products or a whole new collection of products. And I think that's where Printful also shines, where we don't have to disrupt your current business. We actually can incrementally improve your business by offering more products, but on print-on-demand sides. It's quite interesting. So, hi, Walt. It was a long preamble, but welcome to E-commerce Fastlane.
Hey, Steve. That's nice to be here. Thanks a lot for having me.
You know, it's interesting. Thank you. I know you're in Latvia right now, and I know time zones are crazy, and I really appreciate the fact that you have hustled to make this work today. It's 10 a.m. for me, and I think it's 8 p.m. for you, but I think this story really needs to be told. Printful is definitely a world-class business, like I said, with over 400,000, I'm sure there's a bigger number, but 400,000 active customers that are using your platform and more than 1 million products every month. So I want to talk a little bit about, you can kick us off a bit about, can you share kind of what initially drew you to the print-on-demand industry? I just want to kind of get warm and fuzzy about like your career path leading up to being where you are today.
Yeah, actually, from my perspective, I've been at Printful for the last 5 years. And actually what drew me to Printful was that 5 years ago, print-on-demand industry was just beginning. It wasn't like something really, really huge that everyone knew about. It was like developing, Printful app was developing in the whole world. The US was, of course, big. There were only a few competitors of ours. And at that point, I was working actually at a small cosmetics company, and I was chatting with a few of my buddies from university who was working at Printful at that point, and they mentioned like, this business is going to get so big. You definitely need to be here. It's a technology business. There is a lot more to see and do here, and it's expanding. And I actually applied to a role, and the previous CEO of Printful interviewed me, and I got the job at that point. I was pretty young at that age, and also I was like just becoming like known of print-on-demand industry. And once I essentially understood what it is, got a job, started working on a few of the things with Printful and managing the first partners, understood like what's the opportunity here and how unique it is. Because before that, like everybody knew dropshipping, but nobody knew print-on-demand. But I would say dropshipping and print-on-demand is basically the new dropshipping of the world, where you don't really need any inventory or anything. So it was kind of the insightful story of my university buddies plus the CEO of Printful, who told me the story of how the company was built, where they are at right now, and what the ambitious goals we had at that moment. Mm-hmm. And I was just drawn in. It was super amazing. I just saw that there's like so much opportunity for us to be leading Shopify partner that we are right now.
Right. You know, it's funny, I did a tiny bit of research like a good host would do, but I found out that Printful, kind of before it even launched, they actually were a startup, like I think they're called Startup Vitamins. It was kind of an online store, and it was selling motivational posters for entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And I started thinking, so this is where it all, like there's always a backstory. It's just people say they build something. It's like Shopify. I mean, originally, Toby and a couple other founders, built their snowboard store, but then found out that the software was more valuable. Snow Devil was the name of their store they built, and they didn't want to go to Yahoo stores and use their software because they found it clunky. So they said, well, forget it. We're going to build our own. And off Shopify went doing their thing and found out that their software is more valuable. Now I see that Startup Vitamins selling motivational posters. Then all of a sudden it pivoted to, well, maybe there's some technology here that we can actually build that others can use and have their creative ideas. Can you talk a little bit about that story?
Yeah, like that's actually the story that when I was interviewing, the founder of Printful also told me, and it's actually pretty similar to the Shopify story that you just mentioned. So actually, like long before Printful was launched, one of our co-founders started an online store called Startup Vitamins. And what Startup Vitamins did was basically sold those motivational posters to young entrepreneurs that wanted their office to look similar to Google or such like that, where you have like get shit done posters and similar type of thing to kind of get your motivation up for your new startups that you have. Essentially, for a while when they started, like they experienced like quite massive growth, but all of the fulfillment of the posters was actually done in our co-founder's living room. And it was pretty funny that they were delivering those posters with his car from like his living room in Los Angeles actually to the postal services, and the demand grew really, really significantly. And at that point, he actually faced a pretty big problem that he wanted to find an outsourcing partner that would do this for him. But he found out that there isn't really a company that can ensure the quality that he requires and actually fulfill those orders on demand. We always needed to do things in bulk and similar. So what he essentially did is rented a warehouse with his wife and other co-founder, and just put a printer there and started building like a fulfillment business for his own needs. And that eventually basically evolved into what Printful is now. It was when Printful was born. And our experience with running this business helped us understand that there are actually many other businesses that experience the same problems. That you have a running business that's successful, you have the idea where you sell, but like you cannot really scale it up because you need to order a bunch of amount of stock in bulk and you don't know if it's going to sell. You cannot test those ideas out. Right. So what he did was essentially build a solution for his own business, and then Printful was born, and he understood like, hey, there are so many other entrepreneurs that face the same problem, that Startup Vitamins still actually to this day is alive, where we test things, but at the same time, we're kind of like helping out our entrepreneurial journey to others, because we see that that's the way how you can actually be sustainable and grow other businesses better than ours. So it's quite similar to Shopify's story. Yeah, we found that there is more opportunity with having a Printful like that.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I went through perplexity too, and just kind of asked that whole question about Startup Vitamins. And it's so interesting that Printful is a very well-known print-on-demand and fulfillment company, but, originally created to meet the needs of Startup Vitamins originally. Yeah. It's so interesting how these sort of things all come together. And so I want to talk a little about, what's evolved kind of since then, because, I think that's one of the things about technology. And, in the early days when you got involved with Printful, I'm sure you've seen both the product mix and the technology evolve over time, and your strategic partners around the world that are fulfilling orders on behalf of all your customers. So can you talk a little bit about what's happened from, I guess, more the official launch in 2013, and like here we are, gosh, like 12 years later, 11 years later. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what trends that you have seen and how the industry continues to evolve?
Yeah, so like in 2013, Printful started with like fulfilling posters. And since then, like we have evolved to actually fulfilling 5 different types of product categories in terms of like what type of print service we provide. So at the end of the day, in those 11 years, what has happened when Printful launched, print-on-demand world was basically, I don't know, like founded by our founders. It was like kind of invented by our founders. So since then, there was, of course, a lot of competition shown up. But at the same time, I also see that there are like quite a lot of trends around products that you thought are just being able to be manufactured in bulk that are actually becoming a on-demand product that you can like order just one piece and that's going to be delivered at your home. For example, like shoes and a lot of all-over print items that used to require a lot of apparel materials, and you needed to order at least 50, 100 units of those. So it's been evolving in a way where like kind of on-demand printing and print-on-demand as such is not about printing anymore. There is embroidery, there is all-over prints, there is home and living items such as towels and similar being fulfilled on demand. So I really see that like the whole print-on-demand industry is shifting towards being a personalized, on-demand dropshipping businesses that dropshipping provider that can really provide your business any type of thing that you want to have as a product for your brand. And I see that there is this expansion, like basically becoming as on-demand printing becomes more of on-demand manufacturing. And I think in the future years, we will see more and more products become that you can order just from starting from one unit. Another aspect of like, if we look back in 2013, there were like well-known blank manufacturers like Bella Canvas and Gildan that everybody ordered those products to be like your base products for your brand, which you print on top of on.
Right.
So what's happening right now is, and also you can see that in Printful catalog, there is branded products such as Adidas, Nike, not yet, but Under Armour and similar like champion products that you can already personalize and start selling on your store. And you can have like Adidas featured design that is under your brand that you can sell within your stores. So that's a pretty big and massive change in the industry. If we look 11 years back and we would go to Adidas and say, hey, like there's going to be 10,000 Shopify stores that's going to be selling your like t-shirt with Adidas logo and your own brand, that wouldn't be possible right now. I think another thing what I have seen in the past couple of years is, of course, there is print on demand is becoming more of a commodity. I would say there are like many new businesses arriving which are doing print on demand, but at the same time, those old industry leaders like Printful, we have managed to kind of be and ensure the scalability and also ensure that the quality is there. And that's because we're the only print on demand service to this day, I think, that has almost all of their products in-house fulfilled. Versus if you look at other POD players, there are still like kind of in-betweeners, middlemen that are actually providing and connecting you with like kind of production partners at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that part I know. I think that was an interesting angle of kind of how others are choosing to do it. But yeah, I like the fact that a little bit that it's under one roof and kind of domestically fulfilled. I think is quite interesting. It kind of reminds me of a golf brand that I manage, and you know exactly what you're talking about right now, where they created a brand around and a logo and a few different logos that represented their brand. But the way that they marketed their business was they were able to partner up with other golf apparel brands, being it Nike or being Adidas and Puma and others, and they were able to buy the product in wholesale. Like we're talking golf shirts and hoodies and different things. But then they utilize a print on demand system to saying, hey, you know, they didn't do it in-house themselves physically. It's just not at scale. But what they did do was get access to and licensing abilities of some product. And it was very limited run. I think that was the notoriety around this business was, hey, we created a brand and a logo, and we're going to sell it, but we're going to sell it in a certain, but they're going along with whatever the Nikes and the Pumas and the Adidas of the world, what they have available and what they're willing to sell in wholesale to him. And then they went in with through print on demand, had their garments kind of like embroidered. So it was really cool.
Yeah. Like I think it's kind of like that's what we want to do. We want to kind of bring this licensing aspect that you as a brand owner don't need to kind of go after those brands and try to do this yourself. Like this is something that you can just go to Printful, set up your shop and already have those brands within there. And like you can have like kind of these so-called collabs that your brand actually is together listed with like Adidas kind of logo on the same shirt. So I think it's pretty awesome. And that's where also industry is moving, where I think more and more of those like kind of world-known brands are going to be able to allow Printful to become like kind of a reseller of those shirts for commerce users. And that brings them like closer to their customers, because those customers are able to customize and edit and add designs that they want and wear the brand and the quality shirt that they have, like Adidas has.
I got to talk about what I see. I say two different types of businesses are kind of Printful customers. There's probably a lot more, but on a high level, I see the creator economy. I think people that are personal brands themselves. I went to YouTube and I was kind of looking around. I know PewDiePie certainly is a Printful customer for their store, and Philip DeFranco, and there's a few others. There's some really, really major, notable YouTubers and creators that are using Printful to fulfill their particular branded merch, which I think is a huge opportunity for creators that are listening today. Then on the other side, there are direct-to-consumer brands that have existing product market fit, but have also decided to expand out into their own branded merch. It could be part of their brand, or it could be an offshoot, like I mentioned with this golf apparel brand. So can we talk a bit about, like, first of all, the creator economy? Like, what are you seeing on your side? Is this a growing opportunity for these influencers and creators to saying, hey, can I own the supply chain a bit by creating a personal brand? And then can I do shout outs of stuff to limited drops? And is this all part of a marketing strategy of a personal creator brand?
Yeah, I think you touched upon a really, really hot topic right now. I think in general, what I'm seeing as a pattern, as a trend is like creators who actually do this right now, they're becoming more and more independent in terms of like they can focus on their content, connect their kind of all of the audience and basically monetize the audience that they have and really create their own brands. And they will be owning a part of the supply chain, but they wouldn't really need to worry about fulfillment or kind of how those products are going to be fulfilled. They just need to put their brand on the shirt and really develop basically a good strategy on how they're going to promote this within their own channels. And I think this particular piece of the kind of economy, which is creator economy, I would call them the new SMBs, because creators are more and more involving. And like today, to get reach through TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, others, it's easier than ever. And like at the end of the day, if you're a young creator that's like a smaller one, you probably don't earn a living yet on those platforms. Versus if you start also interacting with your listeners or followers through merch that show loyalty to your brand, you can become independent. Versus if you look at those larger creators like PewDiePie and others who are already selling merch, part of them already are using Printful and print on demand, and part of them are not yet. They're working with large brands and creating deals of those, but those large brand deals also could end at some day. Versus if they build their own brand using Printful and Shopify, that's so easy to do. And at the end of the day, they would need to just sit back, look how their orders grow if they just talk about it or kind of showcase that underneath their accounts where they have this follower base. And this is like where I see a massive opportunity in general for the audience that are creators or becoming creators right now, where like if you don't do merch, it's probably something that some of your other peers are doing and they're earning like six figures with that even. So yeah.
What's interesting about that too is I think it's just the diversification of income, especially some early stage YouTubers. I mean, just ad revenue only from YouTube is a certainly good starting point with a CPM model. But if you're not getting millions of downloads per episode or views per episode, there's no meaningful revenue coming out of the YouTube revenue side. But it really is thinking about partnerships, affiliate relationships, and then obviously having your own branded merch and limited drops. I think a lot of creators wear a lot of hats. And I think the challenge is that, when you align yourself with Printful, for example, you don't have to worry about the supply chain side. You have the creative side and set the store up, but then you feel confident that, the payment gateway is going to work. They're going to collect the money. The order is going to arrive. It's going to be pushed over automatically to Printful. It's going to be fulfilled on behalf of you directly to your customer, tracking information. Like all these things just flow correctly. You don't have to worry about the production and the fulfillment, and the kind of the post-purchase experience kind of is completely managed by Printful. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like generally you don't once you set up the product, then probably most of those creators already have some sort of like branding of their own accounts. And you just need to put on like this already created file that you probably have for you and add products. And through Shopify, what's really nice, you can, if you're a YouTuber, you can push those products to merch shelf and feature them in your videos, which at the end of the day, like if you get 100,000 views and not millions where you cannot earn enough, probably out of those 100,000 views, there will be 100, 200, 300 customers that will buy your products, and you'll be able to earn $10, $20, $30 on each of those. So it's already kind of really beneficial for you to start doing that at the early stage, because at the end of the day, the scalability is really unlimited. And once your follower base grows, also your customer base of your brand and merchandise grows.
And then the other side, so that's the creator economy, personal brand kind of YouTuber thing, or TikTok star. There's lots of people making good money kind of on their channels and diversifying their income. But then there's also the direct-to-consumer people that either going to create a dedicated brand, print on demand, or they're going to add on to an existing catalog, and they have product market fit in kind of whatever it is that they sell, but they want to start getting some print on demand merch available. And in this case, there's the product catalog is massive right now, and eco-friendly and everything. Like it's pretty cool kind of what Printful's doing. So can you talk a bit about what you're seeing about existing businesses choosing to want to get involved with Printful and adding on the Shopify app, and kind of what does that look like for them? Does the existing business just continue to run? And now this is just another whole marketing play of the print on demand side of their business?
I would say like if we look at those already established D2C brands that start adding other products and expanding their product catalog, what Print on Demand brings you, it's like this easy way to test new stuff that you feel might work, but you're not sure and you're not ready to commit on a specific amount of products that you want to order. So it's really adjustable. So you can set up 50 different designs, 50 different products in a couple of minutes and really start testing out what your customer base really wants to have. And that's what Printful also provides. We have more than 350 products that are personalizable, customizable, that you can add to your product catalog at any minute. And this is like the use case where it's really simple for you as a business owner to test out and start adding merch items or home and living items to your product catalog to see what your audience and brand really fits good. And you don't really need to pay for anything. Once you start testing, like Printful is free. So that's the core part where you start testing, you can add 50 products. If one product starts adding, only once orders come in, we are going to charge you for that. And I think that's really unique about those brands where there are like a lot of established businesses that could just easily add 30, 50 products from Printful and start earning additional, actually real revenue money from that without really investing tons of resources or tons of money in that. Additionally, you talked about the marketing play. There is a really good approach where it's around how you build your brand. And with Print on Demand, it's easily also to test whether there is like this brand loyalty towards your customer base. And you could just start adding like, let's say your brand, like if let's say you sell, I don't know, candles or something similar, you could also start adding some merch items to see if people like your brand as an apparel thing. So that's a marketing play where you can kind of start expanding in new categories and grow your business from that angle and really, not pay anything until it's successful. And I think that's unique about POD and Printful particularly, as we really think about what are those unique niche products that you could add with your product catalog as a brand. So your audience would be like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I want to get it.
I love it. So I want to talk a little bit about the sustainability side of Printful, because I think there's always that kind of conversation about a brand. A lot of brands have like an ethos or a mission statement is saying, hey, that, you know what, we're an environmentally and kind of a socially conscious business. And, they talk about wastewater, they talk about hiring practices and the sourcing of product and just the manufacturing process and the printing process. And so can you talk a bit about just how mindful Printful has been from an eco-friendly and sustainability perspective?
Yeah, I think this is a really important note and kind of also aspect that we need to discuss here. And at the end of the day, by choosing Printful and Print on Demand as such, you choose apparel that's created only order has been placed by your customer. So it means that there is like basically, there isn't like 100 other units of those sitting in the shelves. It's created on demand specifically for your customers. So creating less fabric waste than conventional manufacturing, where you manufacture 1,000 units and then only start thinking about how you're going to sell them. Actually, currently, I think it's estimated that around 20% of traditional manufactured products that are apparel are being thrown away at the end of the year by each of those brands that does bulk. Versus once you do POD, there isn't really things to throw away because those products are created only after. And even I think from those larger brands that are being manufactured in bulk, like they sell a lot of things in a really, really huge discounts just to get rid of the stock. So you as a business owner, you not only become more sustainable by producing less waste and less products, you also can become more profitable because you don't need to put on discounts to just get rid of stock. I think if we look also from eco-friendliness and similar, what we do is we actually do post-consumer recycled packaging for all apparel orders that's Printful right now is fulfilling for our customers. And we have a really specific routing logic. I think we have around 14 facilities around the world right now. And the reasoning behind that is we don't want to produce waste when delivering items, and we want to be closer to the end consumer, so the merchant's customer. And that's why we produce products that are really close to the customer. So there is less waste actually produced once your customer is creating an order, let's say in London, and you're based out of US.
Right.
Where I have a facility in Birmingham that's going to deliver it, and nothing is going to be flew overseas for you. Besides that, of course, what we have been looking at and producing even more of is new eco-friendly products in our product catalog. We are adding, I think, each year a dozen products that are eco-friendly, and we're trying to do that more. And we want to do even more in the sustainability space in terms of what products consist of. For example, we just recently added some of our beauty products in our product catalog that you can use, and those are being produced only by natural certified resourced, naturally basically certified, and materials are natural. They're not kind of waste or anything that would actually hurt the environment. Same thing with our eco-friendly product collection. It consists, I think, around 70-80% of recycled materials. So we really want to kind of be there closer to nature, as one of our core things as a business is print-on-demand is sustainability as such.
Right.
On-demand manufacturing is the future of sustainability. Once we start manufacturing on-demand, even iPhones, it would be more sustainable. Think about it. So, and this is something that our team invests quite a lot of. We have new members in our team joining each year just to focus on how our production facilities or products or everything can become more sustainable. So our customers that are merchants online can be proudly say, this product was produced on demand. It's eco-friendly. Everything there is around how you can build your brand as a more sustainable thing.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned about the sustainability thing. I wrote an article about this, and I had another partner on that was talking about just the fast fashion industry in general. And, some of the stats they brought up were just incredible. They said 92 million tons of textile waste is produced every year in the world. And, basically they're saying the equivalent of one garbage truck full of clothing ends up in a landfill every second.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And you hit the nail on the head. The big problem in traditional fashion right now is the overproduction. And I think they say over 30% is never sold. And that's terrible. And that's not what Printful does. It's literally when, the product is ordered, it's manufactured and for your particular customer. I think that's quite interesting. And then you think about just the landfills in general, and just it's insane where I think a lot of stuff's being sent overseas to Ghana, or I don't know where their country they're going to. I don't know if it's in Chile or somewhere, but it's just insane where they're sending. And then you think about all the other problems they brought up, the water pollution and the carbon emissions. You kind of talked about that, and just the microplastics and all these things. There's a lot of non-biodegradable waste problems that are out there. And I think that's where Printful fits into the equation, where, you don't have a lot of those same challenges, and they don't have that economic waste that's happening. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, and if you think about it, at the end of the day, I think in the future, once we go to those traditional large retailers that do fast fashion, they're also looking into kind of how to become more sustainable. And
right.
I think ordering online will become print-on-demand focused. Even if you order something from those large brands like Zara or similar, order online, I think will become on demand for them, because that's also a strong push for those companies. And if those guys are ready to work with Printful, that's awesome. Hit me up.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk, but I think that's the way that they should actually be going towards to. Otherwise, it's gonna become where those countries where those items are being sent to and dropped off are just gonna not pick them up anymore, and then those landfills are gonna be next to everyone's home with stuff full of unused apparel materials or apparel T-shirts that you just are sitting next to you and you don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to pivot a bit to a story. I'm really motivated when I hear about a brand that maybe wanted to get involved in an industry, like in this case, print on demand, and then had some success, because people are listening now thinking, hey, you know what, I'm not involved in print on demand right now, but I do want to expand my product mix, or I'm a creator and I want to supplement my income in another channel. And this is a great way to do that, either through a dedicated merch store. And so I don't know if, hopefully I don't put you on the spot here, but it'd be great to hear a story about, hey, a particular brand. This is, hey, here was my life without Printful. We decided to go for it. Here's what we did. And then here's the kind of success that we have because of it. I know you have a lot of resources and help center and stuff like that, like on the Printful website, but is there anyone that's kind of like newsworthy that you can talk about?
Yeah, like the interesting part about Printful is that we are a white label company. So there is so many cool stories that I could tell you about, but I couldn't share what brand is it. So that's kind of the big struggle for us. Right. But there is one brand that actually we also have a case study underneath Printful enterprise page. And it's a brand called It's Just a Six. Essentially, the brand is basically popular kind of project between college friends where they created videos about racing, building, and breaking cars. Essentially, it was a YouTube type of thing. And they kind of got a lot of followers and a lot of good recognition for their brand. And as they were growing their YouTube channel, they also launched a clothing brand. And initially, they managed ordering and shipping the products themselves and basically did bulk ordering, tried to even start printing themselves, but then soon realized that it was too time consuming. It was really hard to get the quality right. They didn't have the time to really focus on their YouTube channel and focus on what they really loved. Then our team actually reached out to them and they switched to on-demand fulfillment with us. And what they essentially arrived to is they really significantly reduced the burden of inventory management and fulfillment, which was a big headache for both of those guys that were basically kind of creating fun videos about cars. They didn't want to focus on how to print and ship things with multiple shipping providers. It was just pain in the ass for them. And this allowed them really focus more on like the creative part of the business, which is the fun part. So they started focusing on creating more designs, testing a lot of different designs of t-shirts and products, and really focusing on how they're going to market this within their videos. So what happened with this is they actually enabled them to triple their product catalog and also grow their brand more significantly because they focused on creating those videos. Versus at the same time, they were growing also their store presence. And I think they reached around 300K in monthly sales with Printful. Before that, they were like doing way less than that. And it wasn't, I think, six figures even. So at that point. And that was all because Printful allowed them to test products, set up products quickly, not focus about fulfillment or shipping. And the flexibility really got them to kind of refocus on their YouTube channel, become more kind of excited about cars, and really experiment with just new designs, cool ideas, and marketing, which is the fun part of the journey, of course.
Yeah, no, I love that. I just went to their YouTube channel. So yeah, they have like 1.43 million subscribers and like 800 videos. And they're getting like 150,000 views, sometimes 200,000 views per video that they produce. And they're 30-minute videos, so they're fairly in depth, but they clearly double down and really enjoy what it is that they do with their car videos. It's so interesting that people want to watch and learn about all the parts of a car and how to soup it up and add better rims and turbos and different things like that. But so now that gives them as you said, it gives them the opportunity now to saying, hey, I'm going to focus more on building and producing great video to entertain and inspire my audience. But on the flip side, though, people that want to support the business, now Printful takes care of all of that and the fulfillment of, and this is another crazy revenue stream for them. I mean, yeah, they're making decent money for sure with that many followers right now with the ad revenue, but man, diversifying now. I'm sure there's some partnership and affiliate arrangements going on with the cars and accessory companies. But man, having a dedicated merch really shows a lot of support towards the business.
Even like in our enterprise page where there is their case study, I think there is a really good quote from Nick, who is one of the It's Just a Six founders. They were like, what he really likes about Printful is that they can jump on trends in hours instead of weeks. And really, once they have an idea, they just go to printful.com, create a crazy design and basically launch it within their store within the same day. So they don't really, in case there's something cool that happens within their videos that they want to publish tomorrow, they already have a merch around that set up in the store. So that's what's unique about this type of cases. Yeah.
Yeah, and they can blast out another benefit of having an email list and an SMS list for those, because then these VIPs, you can let them know that something. Hey, first of all, we've launched a new video. Here's the link to it. Oh, and by the way, we have a limited drop coming up, a flash sale coming up on this or whatever's hot. And then for those that want to jump on board, I mean, that's the advantage of just get the graphics in order, and then boom, off it goes on their dedicated site, right? It's just6.com. I'm looking at their site right now live. It's so cool. And I can see their shop and I can see all the stuff they sell. It's all powered by you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And kind of doing this, and nowadays for you also, people who doesn't think that their brand fits good with merch, I would say there are so many interesting businesses that at first hindsight, they're talking about cars, what merch? They probably just could have car deals, and I know there is Top Gear or similar shows that could actually be in the same way and have a cool merch store that can be spun up in minutes. So there isn't really a limit in terms of what you're selling or talking about as a brand, or what you have right now. You can add t-shirt even to a bank and somebody will buy it.
So I just want to talk for those that are on Shopify, which is the bulk of our listeners. So either a dedicated merch store or adding on to their existing Shopify store. Just quickly walk us through what happens when you go to the Shopify App Store and install the app. Can you walk us through kind of what happens once it's physically installed? What's the process of turning on things? Are you working from within the Shopify admin, or are you working from within the Printful admin and getting images up and rendering and all this? I just want to understand how it works.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So at this point, once you install Printful app on Shopify, we already are app bridged within the Shopify. So there are some of the core features within the Shopify that you can use within the dashboard. So product catalog, already checking orders, understanding the sync products, having some settings. You can already set up Shopify campaigns. We have a campaign tool specifically for Printful products on Shopify that you can use. So some of those core functionality things are already on Shopify. So we are working to have other core functionalities within the Shopify admin, so you can do most of the Printful stuff without leaving Shopify even. At the same time, once you install the app, you will see all of the Printful core features there. And you can go to the Printful admin, which is Printful dashboard, which will look actually pretty similar to what you see on Shopify. And on Printful dashboard, you're going to be able to find all of the products from product catalog. That's same that you can also see on Shopify side. And once you click on the product, you're going to be guided to our design maker, which is underneath Printful's domain right now. And that's where you can upload images, designs. You can also choose Getty images and some other cool clip arts that our team has prepared. And you can kind of combine things with our design maker to create the design that you really want. Other option is you go to tools like Canva, Adobe Express, or similar to create your own design, or order a freelancer to create a design for you. And once you have the design done, you just basically either upload it or create it within the Printful design maker. And then you can essentially proceed to the mockup stage, and you're going to create a mockup. So the mockup is going to be created automatically once you have the design done. And once the mockup is made, you need to decide on the product name, description. We already provide suggestions for you, and the product price. And the price is what you're going to decide on, because we're going to showcase what's the cost of Printful, being fulfiller of your product and the product. And then you can put the margin that you want to. If you feel this product is really good, you can put up 50% margin on top of the product. And let's say the product will cost $25. And once you have done that, you can essentially save this product to templates, already push it to the Shopify store that you have connected with Printful by installing the app. And once you push it to the Shopify store, basically you can go back to the Shopify menu and you will see your product live there within the Shopify products page. It's going to be listed in your store, and you can scroll around Shopify where you want to place it and also do all of those things within there. And if an order comes in within the Shopify's dashboard, you're going to see underneath the Printful app that your order come in. it's going to be automatically imported within the Printful fulfillment. And we're going to charge the card for the fulfillment cost of the producing the product and delivering to the end customers. That's that easy. All you need to do is just install Printful app, add your card, and start creating products and push them to the Shopify store.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's one of those things that you just get to learn. It's exactly the same as your current fulfillment process. Seeing orders in your admin, you just feel confident that all the ones that were print on demand kind of ordered, they are, pushed to the Printfuls kind of through the API and through the app, and then boom, it shows up in your systems. Are there any kind of cutoff times as far as like someone places an order on one day, like a lot of kind of like self-fulfill or even 3PLs say, hey, we have a 1 o'clock cutoff or like same day outbound. What sort of lead time are you getting for most brands today?
In general, like Printful is actually, as we're the manufacturing business ourselves and we own our facilities, we're one of the quickest in the market.
Okay.
Usually for apparel products, it's from 2 to 5 business days, but I would lean towards more 2. It depends on the peak seasons, which is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when we also give a heads up to customers like, hey, your order is going to be fulfilled maybe in 5 days. But that's amongst all of the product catalog. Right. Of course, simple front design DTG items will be fulfilled really quickly for you. If you're in the US or Europe, it's going to be basically probably a couple of days and they're going to be shipped out and you're going to receive a notification. Your product is shipped out and this is like a tracking link. And this is going to be also forwarded to your customer who is the end consumer of the product. And they can follow through like what's happening there. And all of it is going to be white labeled. Nobody's going to know that's Printful. But yeah, cutoff times around 2 to 5 days.
I see. And then, some of the post-purchase experience is kind of important. If there's a sizing issue or a return needs to happen, what's typically the workflow there? Since Printful was the original source, does this product then go back to the brand's own warehouse? Does it go back to Printful's warehouse? And then just kind of walk us through how that may happen, because returns are just a necessary part, or exchanges are a necessary part of a business operation.
Yeah, so it depends on what type of issue the return needs to be. Like generally, customers can set up returns also to their own warehouse, but we suggest them to set up the return address to be actually on to Printful's warehouse. And in case the product is just problem with the size that the customer chose, let's say a different size that they needed, then actually this product can be stored within the Printful's warehouse. You can set it up on printful.com and then shipped out for the next customer if needed. If there is some other issue with the product that's related to print quality or similar, then actually we take care of this issue. And I think if I'm correct, we actually do the refund for the merchant as well. But that's only if there's significant printing issues that has happened. Right. At the same time as like basically merchants who are selling on Shopify and using Printful are the ones who created the design and they're working as merchant of record with the end customers. They need to be mindful that if the end customer does not like the product and they want to return it for some other reasons like size, that like it's a different size than what they wanted and similar, they're going to need to bear the risk of the cost. But at the same time, we provide some solutions like you can warehouse this product and order a new one. And when a next order comes in like L size that is needed, we can actually pick that one up. And you're going to just need to pay a little amount of fee in terms of that. So
I see. That's cool. And it sounds like it's a small kind of outlier case, but I think sometimes these, problems can happen. I think brands just want to feel warm and fuzzy that there is a solution in place to store it for the next customer instead. I mean, sometimes there's just, there truly is waste and it just kind of is what it is. And it's a cost of doing business and you just kind of move on and just think big picture. It is what it is. But it's nice to know that Printful truly is a partner to each of the brands. And so knowing that there's obviously a success team member or a support person that kind of is there as your point of contact that can kind of help you walk through some of these rare cases that can happen. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, like definitely. And like for us, generally, like returns is an important factor of any business. So like we have an amazing customer support team that works 24/7 and they provide great service with any type of issue that really arises around your print order or similar, like we are helpful there. And in case you're a larger brand, you'll have a designated customer success manager that can also be involved more and kind of help out if there are some issues also that like kind of things didn't go as you expected. But generally, customer success and customer support teams are awesome. We're scaling them. We want to ensure that every customer is happy that kind of has an encounter with Printful.
Oh, this is lovely. So I know we kind of had a quick chit chat kind of before recording today, and I understand kind of before we wrap up, we want to share a special offer for those that are thinking about, hey, I have an existing business and I want to try Printful, because we are kind of pre-BFCM. We're in Q4 right now. I think there's still opportunity because it seems fairly easy to kind of add on the Printful app right now and get some branded merch in there. It doesn't matter if it could be apparel, both men's, women's, or kids. And there's hats, and there's a full home decor and living section. And, there's a whole large accessory section too. There's opportunity there. So what's the offer for those that, first of all, is the time right to do it now in Q4? And then number two, it seems fairly easy to do. And then what is the offer that you want to offer to my listeners?
Yeah, definitely time is now. You can do it even before, a week before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's relatively quickly to kind of set up Printful and Shopify with your store that you have right now. So definitely don't kind of wait out for next year. Start already setting up Printful right now and add some cool products to your store. In terms of the offer, thanks everybody for listening. You can start your business today for free with Printful and actually get 30% off for your first sample order for 24 hours after the registration. And I think Steve will add all of the details in the show notes. But yeah, definitely click that link and you will get some cool 30% off. So you can have a sample. You can be sure of the quality that you put in your store. And there is a lot of time until Black Friday, Cyber Monday to start working with Printful.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, I'll make sure I have all of this in the show notes. It'll be like ecommercefastlane.com/Printful. That's going to redirect you to this kind of special offer. So literally you can start your own business today, literally for free, and then get that 30% off your first sample order. Just so you can kind of see the whole flow of what it looks like to saying, hey, here's the merch that I'm going to be selling. Be a customer, buy it. See the whole flow of kind of how it comes to your house and saying, yeah, I like that whole post-purchase experience. I like how the receipt comes through. I like how my order is shipped come through. You're able to really kind of tailor it all to your particular brand and business. And so I appreciate that offer. So I think that's a good starting point. I agree with you. Time is definitely right now. I think Harley Finkelstein brings this up a lot at Shopify. Current president, he talks about share of wallet. And I think this is the time right now that, people have a certain amount of money to spend for holiday gift purchases. If you can kind of expand your product catalog for your business, then, there's an opportunity there for increasing your average order size. And there's ways of having a mixed catalog of kind of merch from your own store and then print on demand merch. And these will be split ordered and they'll go and they'll do their thing. And I think it's really exciting you have this opportunity. And Walt, I just wanted to thank you for number one, recording so late. This is so exciting. Printful really is a cool company and you guys are really onto something. And I just wanted to thank you for recording today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve, for letting me join. And definitely, if anybody has also questions towards me, you can definitely reach out to me directly. I can help you set up your store. So definitely.
Little hand holding. I love that. All right. Well, have yourself a great evening. And thanks again for recording.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.